It is a bright, sunshiny day here in the desert Southwest, and the temperature comfortable enough that they said, hey, let's open the roof. That's what they've done here at State Farm Stadium, just west of downtown Phoenix. Today, it's a Week 9 matchup set to go here between the Houston Texans and the Arizona Cardinals. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9?
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line. So bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision. Loses him about 4 yards.
First carry for James Conner. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play. It's second down. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Murray going to throw. He's got a man. Complete. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Murray a give. This is Conner.
And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. A good response by the defense, sending them backwards after that huge gain last play.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. Murray now to throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
It's been a good opening drive offensively thus far, but you know they don't want to waste it and settle for a field goal attempt after that incompletion. So this is a big play coming up here on 3rd down.
Now a whistle, and I think a penalty here for a delay. No, they're going to say timeout. They did get the timeout in time. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. To throw, it's Murray.
He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Derek Stingley picks it. And the Texans are going to get the football here as they force the INT on the game's opening drive.
Well, it's no secret he's had trouble this year with interceptions, and this is a bad start for him. First drive, throwing another pick.
No matter who's broadcasting his game, that's how the conversation begins. Throwing too many interceptions, can he take care of the football? If I were his backup, I'd be edging towards the coaches and saying, hey, how about giving me an opportunity?
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on 1st down.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Mills now.
Open man is Cobbs. That's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 11 yards there as they connect on the quick slant.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Mills now looks to throw on first down.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Cardinals have got it. Going the other way. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. So a rocky start on both sides offensively. Turnovers exchanged.
I saw what you did there.
What'd I do?
Rocky.
Two Rockies.
I saw that. I got it. And, and right now, they're carrying it around like they are wearing boxing gloves. If we're going to have that kind of a reference, they've got to get it together and start playing a little bit better ball.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw.
And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted.
And the Texans are going to get the football back at their own 17.
Well, it doesn't take a whole lot of investigation to figure out why they're still sitting at 0 on the scoreboard, because their quarterback's got to wake up and start reading defense a heck of a lot better after throwing his second interception.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by Trayvon Mullen. And the Cards are going to take possession of the football. Charles, I don't know what's going on in that defensive team meeting room, but they better keep it rolling. 3 picks last week, 2 here now in the first quarter.
Everyone talks about creating turnovers and getting takeaways, but until it gets put into action, it's just talk. And right now, it's in action and in a big way. Now they've got the receivers wondering if they have to turn around and play more defense instead of running routes trying to take the ball downfield.
On 1st and 10 is Counter. And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. His throw caught at about the 5.
And the Cardinals have got a 1st and goal as he's out of bounds at the 4.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
First and goal from just inside the 5. Connor is not going to get a whole lot, maybe a yard down to the 3.
They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal.
Once again, it's Connor.
And he will get into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona.
James Conner, his 7th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Cardinals use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one.
And his kick is good, but flags come in. Looks like we're going to get a roughing call here on the follow-through.
So they'll go ahead and accept the penalty.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
1st and 10 now for Mills and the Texans.
At their own 25-yard line.
They'll get things started with a carry by Pierce.
And now a fumble. The ball's out, and the Cardinals have got it. Going the other way. And they will take over at the 29-yard line.
forcing plays and getting takeaways. But an interception and 2 fumbles in their last 3 offensive possessions.
Time to readjust.
Yeah, you can't just give all the credit to...
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. On second down, here's Pierce.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. The defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
And partner, they're locked in man coverage out left, and they end up running a crossing route. Rounded it a little bit more than a slant. He's just going to angle himself towards the right side of the field, and that's very difficult for a defender to shadow him across all that ground.
A first down throw for Mills.
And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
Hand off right side to Pierce. And this will be a Texans first down as good running gets them to about the 44.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
Let's go.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Here's Mills. Finds his man. It's John Mechie.
He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
On 2nd and 11 now.
Mills. He gets this one to Mechie. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Mills from the gun on 3rd down.
Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. They brought him in off the corner, and he gets in to drop him for a loss of 4. So here's Greg Zuerlein now as he'll try for the field goal. It'll be from the right hash, and it'll be a 36-yarder. Zuerlein's kick is up and through, and they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3.
So, Charles, they are on the board after that kick. So 3 drives, 3 points. Obviously not the start that you were hoping for, but they're able to erase that 0 off the scoreboard.
Yeah, I guess what you're saying is a point of drive is not what offenses are striving for by any stretch. They're happy they've got 3 now. They hope that that unlocks their offense for bigger points down the road.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense.
Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest, you get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen, and he is going to lose yardage here. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
The Cardinals hit 5-3 now on the year. They coming off the loss last time out, but they've been playing better than 500 ball the last couple of months, CD. 5 wins in their last 8 games.
And a big part of the problem, too many 3-and-outs on offense. That led them to only scoring 10 points in their last game. They're going to have to find a way to sustain some drives and finish them with points.
On 2nd and 11 now. Murray under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack.
Christian Harris charging hard from that linebacker spot, and he drops him for a loss of 11.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Now that last sack puts Murray and the Cards in a tough spot, 3rd and long. He'll drop to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side.
This one incomplete. Almost picked off by the rookie, but he couldn't quite look it in. And now it's 4th down.
2 things you can do in that situation: run and punt the football, or try and take your shot at getting the first down. They chose the latter, but they'll have to punt all the same.
Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away.
A nice return that time of about 14 yards.
And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
1-7 their record here at the midway point of the season, and right now this organization, more than likely, if you look at it, CD, probably in for a rough second half of the season.
Well, we've seen teams turn things around in other places. I mean, we've seen 1-7 first halves turn into 5-3 second halves, but with this squad, I think these guys aren't playing to get into the playoffs. They're playing for their jobs. So is the coaching staff. They're coaching for theirs. Front office trying to keep theirs. The heat is on from all directions. And what's interesting is a lot of these guys are playing for jobs and trying to keep their positions. It might be just in the league in some other spot.
On 3rd down, here's Mills. Open man there is Collins, complete. And he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Mills.
And that is incomplete.
We know he has a lot of confidence in his arm and likes to force it downfield, but the coverage was tight there. Fortunate it wasn't picked off.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Throwing, Mills. He's got it to Collins, complete.
And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals' 23.
Mills to the air again.
And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30.
Isaiah Simmons in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
Mills throw completed to Mechie. And they're going to get this down inside the 15.
Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard.
Now Mills.
And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. Picked off by Byron Murphy.
And the Cardinals are going to get the football back at their own 17.
Definitely not the ideal time to see that mistake, partner, because this is still a one-possession game, and that's at least a field goal that just vanished with that turnover. Now, pressure's on defensively to prevent that pick from turning into points for the other side.
Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started.
And with a 7-3 lead, we'll see how aggressive they want to be.
Going deep for Hopkins. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
But no kneeling for them. They decided they weren't going to run out the clock. They decided to take their shot downfield, hoping to either make a connection or a pass interference call. They wanted more points to put on the board.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Here's Murray. And he will find his big tight end over the middle. Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their 2nd, as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1.
He's a rookie, and you don't want to get hung up on the word potential. But when you see him make catches like that, you keep thinking to yourself, he's good now. He's got a chance to be great with plenty of work.
Murray now on 1st down. DeAndre Hopkins making the catch. And he will go out right near the 35-yard line. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
Again, they'll throw with Murray. And incomplete on the deep ball.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. It'll be spotted on the right hash, a 52-yard attempt. Prater's kick is good, and they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3.
They already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
Taken from about the 12.
So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Texans down on the scoreboard, but they do get the first crack here as we are back underway in the second half.
Desmond King to return it from his end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well, and they've kept them around in this game. Now, they've got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Now Mills on the bootleg.
He'll buy some time right.
That's complete to Pierce. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
Couple of first downs right in succession, and this is an offense that could really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10.
1st and 10, it's Pierce. Taken down at the 47-yard line.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secure before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was...
Pierce has it knocked loose.
And the Cardinals have got it, going the other way. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. He has been a workhorse for them in this game, and ball security hasn't been an issue until that point.
Yeah, and let's face it, when he's going to carry the ball that many times, he becomes more and more of a target for the defense, knowing that he's going to be the primary guy. They'll just send more and more players towards him, trying to make sure they knock the ball free.
They begin on the ground here with Connor. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
You don't always expect tight ends to be big in terms of run after the catch, but after that play, he joins a growing band of players that's putting that stereotype right on its ear.
From the gun, a give to Connor. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. From the gun, Murray. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time.
And the Texans are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. So a nice play defensively by the rookie, coming up with the INT.
And that's a late-round pick right there, making a first-round impact. And a lot of these day 3 corners, they end up winding up on special teams and sub-packages and even on the practice squad. But he's really made an impact on this defense, and he comes up with the interception there.
And he's going to take this one down to about the 46-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Throwing on 2nd and 3.
Mills. He's got his man. It's the tight end, Brevin Jordan.
And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. That one good for 26 and a 1st down.
Well, he's had the interception woes in this one, Charles, and that time a little bold to throw it into double coverage, but he beat the double coverage.
Yeah, but I admire that he still will challenge defenders downfield, even though the ball's been in jeopardy a few times in this game. A nice ball there against multiple defenders, and they advance it downfield.
Tackled by Isaiah Simmons.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. From the 16, Mills. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Levante David. And the Cards are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. That's now a second interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for second down.
And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's third down.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7.
Jonathan Greenard running in to pick up the sack.
Before they can get the punt away, whistles as we've come to the end of the third quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Here comes the Cardinals punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And here's a very low line drive, almost whiffed on it. And they'll be set up with great field position as this is going to be touchdown right at the 40-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked by Trayvon Mullen. And the Cardinals are going to take over at their own 30-yard line. So still no touchdowns allowed by this defense. They get the interception there. CD, they have been rock solid.
And at this point, I think they have to expect that they're going to see some shots taken down the field. And that was almost a desperation throw right there, just kind of hoping something good can happen, a completion, a pass interference. But this was anticipated well, and they came up with the INT.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. Another important fourth quarter series coming up. That last INT helping to maintain their slim advantage. After the turnover, here's Murray. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
But based on the play we just saw there, he might not be the guy you want to challenge in coverage on these all-important snaps. He certainly looks dialed in right now.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Murray. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted.
Derek Stingley picks it.
A seismic shift in momentum here in the fourth quarter. That's the break that the defense needed.
And you know as well as I do, people are going to question the play call in that situation. Sometimes you have to question the execution, not necessarily the call. And in this case, those defenders found a way to give their team a chance.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
Mills to throw it.
And a quick throw here. That's complete.
And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete. Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
The Texans tried it, but they come up empty here on fourth. And the Cardinal defense is going to get the football back. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. Their defense forced the turnover on downs. They've got the lead. They're in good shape, but can't go into a shell here, right? Still got to be careful.
Yeah, because they're still a long way away from kneel down time. So they've got to work on getting first downs, keep the sticks moving, right? Keep the clock going. And above all, ball security. Don't turn it over.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. To throw, it's Murray. And the catch made by Hopkins. So the completion good for 6 yards. And that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Right there, he rose to the occasion late in a close game.
It's something he thought about, dreamed about, and worked on throughout his career. Because in these types of situations, he wasn't going to allow extra coverage to keep him from getting the football.
The Cardinals on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 6. Now Murray. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted.
Picked off by Christian Harris. And the Texans are going to take possession of the football.
I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go.
Let's go now.
A run for Pierce out of the gun.
This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
On 2nd and 12, Mills. And that one caught by Cobbs over the middle.
And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line.
Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
As big of a play as we've had in this one so far. This is 3rd and 3.
To throw, Mills.
blitz coming, and down he goes.
Isaiah Simmons
Able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
Mills, fourth down, gotta have it. Oh, he forces one there. It's a potential dagger as it's intercepted.
Jalen Thompson picks it,
and the Cards are going to get the ball back on the turnover as they hold on fourth down.
That is now 5 interceptions that he has thrown in this ball game. If I asked you to speculate what's possibly going on in his head, what would you say?
Well, if he's as mentally strong as I believe he is, he understands that not all of these picks have been his fault. You know, some of the throws, yes, but there have been a good number of them where he hasn't been helped by his own receivers, and they've turned into interceptions. So he knows if he keeps firing, perhaps good things can happen, not just in this game, but especially in later ones.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Right back to Connor here on 1st, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back. Those are the ones you focus on and want to take away, and they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
Meanwhile, Murray's throw complete here to his receiver, Brown.
Oh, he's got some breathing room. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. First down, a run with Cohen. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game.
Cohen gets it again on 2nd.
And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. It'll go as a gain of 9, and that should write an ending to this one.
Brandon, I think you and I were both raised the same way in the game of football. You run to set up the pass, but I think we've discovered in this NFL, a lot of teams pass to set up the run. And that's what they've done throughout this game. They've aired it out, thrown it around the yard. Now they've come back to the running game, and they find a way to be successful with it.
Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 35 seconds left to go. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. Again, it's Cohen, and he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
And this play comes to a halt at the 33, and obviously that's well short of the first down.
Well, obviously, Charles, this was by no means an offensive track meet. I mean, the defenses were the story in this ball game, but, hey, they got enough points to get the job done, and at the end of the day, that's all that matters.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, in such a low